Welcome to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast, where you can learn and be inspired by real-world examples of how technology is transforming businesses and reshaping industries in a language everyone can understand. Here is your host, Neil C. Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast. Now, I'm going to let you into a little secret here. Now, I book in 10 episodes a week to cover cancellations because typically, very last minute, I'll get a cancellation for a podcast with an apology saying, very sorry, the guest has had to go into a meeting, has got to fly to a conference, or one of many, many reasons. But because nobody is flying anywhere at the moment or having back-to-back meetings, I've gone from having 4 last-minute cancellations a week and struggling to keep up with demand for the podcast to having 0 cancellations. So I'm now in a position where I've got 15 podcasts edited and ready to go. And because everyone is home, on the occasional day in the next couple of weeks, I might start dropping more than one episode. Now, I know you're probably thinking, 1 episode a day is more than enough, Neil. What are you thinking? But I figure if we have the nice problems on our hands of having highly valuable conversations, I want to be able to get them out there and share them with you all rather than just sit on them. But apart from that very first world problem, how are you all? I must admit, I'm only dipping into the news for about a 10-minute update at the moment because I think just being glued to rolling news channels is bad for your soul, especially when whatever you're viewing is out of your control. You can't do anything about. But what I do think is good for the soul, especially at times like this, is human stories, tech startup stories that include chance encounters, moments of serendipity, and light bulb moments. And today's guest has all that and much, much more. But I don't want to ruin the conversation by revealing anything too soon. So buckle up and hold on tight so I can beam your ears all the way to California so we can speak with Woodrow Levin, who is going to share his incredibly cool story. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Neil. My name is Woodrow Levin, or Woody Levin, if we're going to be more casual, which I prefer. Live in San Francisco, originally from Chicago. Went to the University of Wisconsin and played Division I hockey there, so a huge hockey fan. And went to law school after that in Chicago. I've started 5 companies over the past 20 years. They range from a video game company to an equity options trading firm to a digital safe deposit box. And obviously now on to Extend. Extend is about a little over a year old, and basically we are an easy-to-integrate solution that allows any merchant to offer extended warranties and protection plans on the products that they sell. So if you can sort of think of us like the company Affirm or Klarna. I know Klarna is more international, or Afterpay, for extended warranties. We're an API first, or just easy to integrate solution that lets the entire market offer extended warranties and protection plans, just like the big retailers do, like Walmart and Costco and Amazon and Wayfair and Best Buy.
And what is it you would say that you do differently with Extend that stands out compared to those other solutions out there?
That's a really good question, and that sort of goes back to, Neil, how we identified the opportunity for this business in the first place.
Yeah.
So basically, when we were thinking about this idea, we identified 3 things that showed us that there was an opportunity to build a meaningful standalone business in this ecosystem. So number 1, we identified, and I alluded to it earlier, that there was a distribution problem. And what I mean by that was that 99% of merchants were not able to, with existing systems and or platforms and providers, to offer extended warranties and protection plans on the products they sell. The top 1% of merchants, again, the Amazons, Best Buys, Costco's, etc., all offered extended warranties and protection plans. 99% of the market was not being served. So we said, okay, there's a gap there. right? How do we serve them? So that's what we saw there was a distribution problem. Number two, we saw that the customer experience around extended warranties and protection plans was broken. Do you purchase extended warranties at all?
No, I've got. I always give an excuse straight away.
Got it. So, and do you purchase Apple Care?
I don't. Maybe I should do. I've got a feeling
Okay.
you get.
So what we like to say is that you self-insure.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you talk to a lot of other people will say, sometimes I purchase extended warranties, or no, I'm not really, but I do purchase Apple Care.
Yeah.
So what we learned is that traditional extended warranties and protection plans are full of what we like to call a lot of gotchas. And what I mean by that is you have to call in order to make a claim. And when you call in, you get bounced around and you're on the phone for 30 to 45 minutes. You might be on hold for a long time. When you're on the call, you have to show or have a copy of your receipt in order to make a claim. I mean, I don't know who saves a copy of their receipt these days.
No.
But there's all of these hangups or gotchas that the legacy providers are using in order to make it difficult for customers to really get the value out of extended warranties. So what we said is, can we use technology to improve the customer experience around extended warranties, and specifically in filing claims? And we do that by having a 24/7, 365 claims portal that is run by our artificial intelligence bot, Kaylee, that it automatically adjudicates claims and gives you results in seconds, not 3 to 5 days. So literally 98% of claims are approved in seconds. And you can do that from your phone. You can do that via text message. You don't have to pick up the phone and call. We don't pick up the phone to book a taxi. We use Uber or Lyft. And I use OpenTable to make a reservation. I don't call the restaurant. So why do we have to call in and get on the phone to file a claim for an extended warranty? You never have to have a copy of your receipt with Extend, because we track that transaction digitally from start to finish. So we can identify you and look up your transaction through your phone number, your email address, the purchase order number. So again, we're trying to get rid of all of these gotchas and really make it beneficial to the end user. So to recap, number one, distribution problem we solved by creating an easy to integrate technology platform or an API first solution. Number two is we improved the customer experience. And number three, what we figured out was that the average attach rate, meaning out of 10 people, how many people will add an extended warranty, or out of 100 people, how many people will add an extended warranty? The average attach rate is around 4 to 5%. Pretty low for online purchases.
Yeah.
So what we said is, I come from a gaming background where we used to just use machine learning and use multivariate testing in order to optimize purchase conversion and user flows. So we took a lot of those learnings and built them into our platform. So our platform, not only on a per merchant basis, but also on a platform-wide basis, will test different copy, content, pricing, placement, and more in order to optimize or maximize that customer attach rate. So what we're seeing on our platform is above 11% attach rate. So we're more than double, almost triple the industry average. And why does this matter? Well, this matters because it drives significantly more revenue to our merchant partners. And it also shows that by being clear and transparent and educating consumers, they're seeing value in extended warranties.
Although this is a tech podcast, it is the very human stories that I'm passionate about sharing on this podcast. And you've already mentioned life playing hockey, law school, numerous companies that you've started, and a background in gaming. And before you came on the podcast, I did do a little bit of research, and I learned how you were playing fantasy football with the CEO of DraftKings, and how that helped pave the way for the extended warranty.
It did. It's a funny story. So I've been on the board of DraftKings as an independent director for almost 7 years, and I'm very close with the entire founding team and specifically the CEO Jason Robbins. We play DraftKings during NFL season every weekend, and we play for $100 or so just to sort of, talk trash back and forth, as guys tend to do, around sports and games of skill, and the like. So we're playing one weekend, and my running back James Conner on Pittsburgh, he got hurt. And if you're not familiar with DraftKings, basically you pick a team of players, you play against another individual or in a multi-person tournament who they pick players as well. Depending upon how the players perform, you get a certain number of points. Whoever gets the most points gets the pool of money at the end, and it's for real money. So my running back got hurt. That's a very important player in the game, obviously, in the NFL. And I didn't get any points from him, and I wound up losing. And I was texting with Jason, and I, just chirping him a little bit and saying, hey, I would have beat you if my running back didn't get hurt. And he said, well, he did get hurt. So I said, we need to come up with a way to put a protection plan around the players. And he's like, what do you mean? Tell me more. And I said, well, basically, DraftKings shows you an expected value that the player is going to score. And I said, we should put together a protection plan that lets you, for 10 to 15% of your entry fee value. So if it's a $100 entry fee, then you pay $10 or $15 for a protection plan around your player's performance. So if the player scores a standard deviation below their expected value due to the fact that they get hurt, they got benched, they had a bad game, it was bad weather, whatever the reason is, that this protection plan or this warranty around the player would pay out. So it's sort of like insurance in blackjack, but it's also like an extended warranty that you would buy on consumer electronics or jewelry and watches, auto parts, furniture, and more. And he said, I love it. He's like, if you want to build it, go ahead and we'll implement it. So that's really how it started. And then, being an entrepreneur, I started digging in and really looking at the facts and the figures and the numbers. And I saw that even, that DraftKings does billions of dollars in entry fees and wagers a year. This was a feature for them. This wasn't a product, and it definitely wasn't a standalone business. But it got me to thinking about companies online and how are they offering extended warranties? Because when I was a kid, I remember going to Circuit City and Babbage's and other stores, and they'd always ask if I wanted an extended warranty. So I started looking online, and that's where I identified, Neil, that a huge portion of the market was not being served. And if we could solve the biggest problem was making it super easy to integrate and accretive for our merchant partners, while also delivering an elegant, digitally native customer experience, that we could really build something special.
What a great story. I love that, and the origins behind it. I mean, I've interviewed over 1,200 people on this podcast now, and everyone always asks me, well, what does everybody have in common? What do these tech leaders and people that are creating all these companies, what do they have in common? And it seems more and more that much of it happens by accident after a light bulb moment like you've just mentioned.
It is. It's exciting, and that's sort of like how my mind works. And I probably go through, oh gosh, I don't know, informally, I probably go through 100 ideas plus before I come up with one that I really want to explore. And I think it's through that process of elimination and through pattern recognition over time and throwing things against the wall and poking holes in them that allow you to identify the opportunity to build a strong and enduring business.
And am I right in saying that since then, the company has raised over 16 million in VC funding? And if that figure is right, how is that funding helping you progress this forward?
So that's correct. Yes, over 16 million. We got a lot of traction very early, and we were able to raise our Series A just 7 months after our seed round. So it was exciting for me, exciting for my co-founders and the rest of the team. That the market had spoken and said there's a real opportunity here. So what has that allowed us to do? Well, number one, we were able to advance our business significantly by acquiring from Aon. I don't know if I'm sure you're familiar with Aon. They sponsor Manchester United and $43 billion, now I think an $80 billion public insurance brokerage with their purchase of Towers Watson. But we were able to purchase from them Aon Warranty Solutions, which is a division of Aon. This is their warranty business. We were able to purchase those assets from them and become a fully licensed administrator right from the get-go. And this is important because the service contract stack is broken up into three parts. And by service contracts, I mean extended warranties and protection plans. You have the technology-enabled broker, right? That's who delivers the offers on the website and who captures the information to write the contracts. You have the administrator. The administrator is who really owns the customer experience, who adjudicates the claims, and who interfaces with the last part, which is the underwriter. That's the company that's taking on the balance sheet risk, or the insurance company. It's so important to own the administration. Because again, the biggest problem that we saw in this industry was up-leveling customer experience. And if you can up-level that customer experience, you can define your own brand, and customers will start to demand your brand, which in turn will make merchants favor you. And that's what we're doing with Extend, is we're really creating a consumer-facing brand here. And we're doing that by having this digitally native, elegant experience for customers, which is unlike anything they've seen before. I mean, really what we're trying to do, Neil, is create Apple Care-like experience for everything. So the funding allowed us to go out and pursue that acquisition, which not only allowed us to become a fully licensed administrator, immediately it allowed us to bring on key members of the team with over 35 years experience in the extended warranty and protection plan space. On top of that, we've grown the team now to over 65 people. So again, we're only a year old, and we've grown the team from 0 to 65 in that time period, and it's allowed us to what we believe is we're very confident in create the best technology platform available in the industry, bar none. We are so far ahead of anyone in this space in terms of our technical capabilities, our flexibility. And our ability to serve both the end user, the consumer, and our merchants in the way that they want and deserve.
And what about machine learning technology? Because I believe you're leveraging that as well. So where does that fit into everything?
We are. It's an always evolving process, and it's again one of those things that you're never going to be done with, because as you feed the system more and more data, it's constantly going to improve the outputs, or you hope it's going to improve the outputs. Where we use that is in terms of the optimization of the offers in order to increase the conversion rate or the attach rate for our merchant partners, which thus increases revenue. We also use it on the claims side in order to make that the most efficient process we can and delight our customers. It's more of a cultural part of our business than it is something that we just added on. The majority of things that we do at Extend are driven by data. Gut instinct is good. It can only take you so far. We use data-driven decision-making in order to inform the majority of what we do, because ultimately at the end of the day, we think that's what will allow us to build the strongest independent company, and again, serve our merchant partners as well as customers as well as we can.
And when you set out on this journey, you discovered that 1% of merchants actually offered those extended warranties, and it left that massive portion of the market unable to offer protection plans for its customers. So what kind of merchants can now use Extend, and how do you both make money from this?
So many merchants can use Extend for extended warranties and protection plans. It's almost endless. I mean, the merchants that can't are merchants that are selling consumables, right? So, for shampoo, or obviously food and clothing, those are not good targets. But for us, our key industries are consumer electronics and appliances, home and garden, jewelry and watches, auto parts, furniture, sports and fitness. So it's a wide range of different companies that can and should be offering extended warranties to their customers. I mean, with Extend, it costs nothing to turn on a program. We have pre-built integrations into Shopify, Magento, Salesforce Commerce Cloud. Those are all e-commerce platforms that companies use to stand up their stores online, as well as very easy to navigate APIs or direct connections, if you will, that allows customers to get up and running with our pre-built integrations in hours. So again, Extend offers the ability to get up and running in hours, doesn't cost anything, and then we drive significant incremental revenue while at the same time giving customers the peace of mind and security to make that purchase decision. From where we sit, this is kind of a no-brainer.
And what excites you about the role of emerging technologies and how, as we continue to move forward, how you'll be able to leverage them at Extend? Is there anything you've got your eye on?
There's so much that we want to do. That's what I love about building a tech company, is that you can scale the business tremendously through technology, and it doesn't have to scale through headcount. We want to build a very efficient business because, again, that will allow us to create value, not only value for all the employees who are all owners of the company as well, because they all have equity positions, but also our investors and our partners. So we're always using leading edge technology. Example for our servers, we're using Lambda, AWS Lambda, which is serverless technology, which allows us to scale extremely quickly and also keep our server costs down. As I said, we have a heavy focus on data and engineering, both on the machine learning and AI front. We're constantly looking at ways to improve our user experience and user interaction. We have a tremendous design team in-house. So things that are sort of an afterthought to other companies in the space are on the forefront for us. There's a lot that we think we can do in the future, after we've built our base, again, being, about 14, 15 months old at this point. We have some marquee clients that we're working on getting live now. And once we do, I think you're going to see our business just really continue to accelerate and show some hockey stick growth.
And for any consumers or indeed merchants listening out there that would like to find out more information about Extend and how they can get involved, can you just point them in the direction of where they can find you online?
Yes, sir. So it's pretty simple. Just go to extend.com. We were fortunate to be able to get our exact brand name domain and the .com of it. We acquired that last year. So it's just extend.com. And if anyone's interested in learning more about how we can help them sell more and improve their revenue generation and margins online, let us know. And if you're a consumer who's just looking to learn more about extended warranties and the benefits, feel free to check out some of our blogs or other information there.
Well, I love what you're doing and how you're leveraging technology. But more than anything, I think I just love that story behind it of how you were playing fantasy football with the CEO of DraftKings when one of your players got hurt, lost a bet. And then what started out as a bit of a joke or lighthearted banter about buying insurance for players quickly spiraled into what if I could offer insurance extended warranties on all online products. And now look where you are. It's a fantastic story. And I suspect it will be a big inspiration for startup founders listening too. So a big thank you for sharing that with me today, Woody.
Thanks, Neil. And it's amazing where life can take you. And, I still talk with Jason. I mean, we talk almost every day. And it's funny that this one weekend of playing fantasy football and my player getting hurt, who knows where we would be right now, and who knows if this company would have been started. So it's exciting to see how fast we've gotten here, and I'm really excited to see what's ahead.
The fact that the idea for Extend came from playing DraftKings with his friend, losing a bet, to raising 16 million in VC funding should be an inspiring message to us all. Because let's face it, many of us have probably had similar experiences and similar light bulb moments where we've had that great idea, but guess what? We've done nothing about them. And if I've learned anything from 1,200 podcast interviews, It's listening to the universe, taking an idea, running with it, solving real problems and making a difference. That's where the magic happens. So what I loved about today's conversation is that secret source of serendipity, light bulb moments and leveraging technology to enhance the creative process. But what did you like about today's conversation? And I'm curious, do you have a similar story? If you do, I invite you to share it with me and the listeners of this Daily Tech podcast. And I'm the easiest guy in the world to find. Just email me, techblogwriter@outlook.com. My website is techblogwriter.co.uk, and you can find all my social channels on the website too, if you'd prefer to send me a direct message on one of those. So keep those questions coming in. If you would like to come on the podcast, there is around about a 6-week wait at the minute. I think I've got about 50, 60 guests booked in, but don't let that put you off. I can send you a link to my calendar. We can book you in. I do pride myself in having an open door policy where anyone can come on here and share their story. A big thank you to Woody for coming on today and helping me see the world of extended warranties a little different. And I must admit, I am a little bit reckless on things like that, so I will be thinking about things differently. But more than anything, a big thank you to each and every one of you for tuning into this Daily Tech podcast. And until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thank you for listening to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast with Neil C. Hughes. Remember, technology works best when it brings people together.